Live from KSAT 12. Good Morning San Antonio starts right now.
A woman hit by a vehicle overnight and 2 people ended up in handcuffs, but the charges might not be what you would think for. We'll explain.
And let's take a live look out at the Alamo City. All right, so it's a lot less humidity than what we felt yesterday. Is your hair doing okay?
It's doing much better.
Good. We're going to check in with Sarah Spivey in just a few moments. Till then, good morning. It is 6 o'clock this Sunday, April 3rd. So Fiesta continues. What'd you do yesterday?
Went to the Fiesta Cactus and Succulent sale.
Nice.
It was outside at the San Antonio Garden Center, which is right outside of the Botanical Gardens. And it was beautiful.
Yeah.
It was a beautiful day. Went to the Pearl yesterday.
Nice. Living your best life.
And I was telling Max, Sarah, that officially I made the switch from hot coffee in the morning to iced coffee because it's just getting a little warmer in the mornings now.
Yeah. Spring equinox be darned. The thing that means spring is when Sarah switches to ice.
It's official.
Put it in the calendar graphic.
Sounds good. We'll have that ready to go next year, Sarah. Okay, but yeah, it's pretty mild outside right now. In a couple of places, it's chilly. Up in the hill country, look at those temperatures. 48 in Kerrville, 46 in Comfort, 46 in Bernie. But notice that it's 15 to 20 degrees cooler around Bexar County. It's 67 at Stinson, 61 in Converse, JBSA Randolph, 62 in Hondo, 61 in Devine, 62 in Pleasanton, and 60 in New Braunfels. So why the big temperature spread, right? That's a big temperature difference, much more than usual. The reason is it's still very dry up in the hill country. Dew points up in the hill country are in the 40s, even in the 30s. But overnight, we've had humidity work its way back in from the south. And so dew points around San Antonio starting to get into the mid to upper 50s. Now, this is going to be temporary. Into the afternoon, these dew points are going to mix down, and it's going to be another relatively low humidity day, but it is going to get very warm. You know, yesterday we got up into the 90s. Today we're going to be close to 90 degrees. If you're planning on celebrating Fiesta or just being outside, know that temperatures are going to quickly warm up. Even by 10, we'll already be near 70. Around noon, near 80. Notice that skies are going to become sunny too. It'll be 89 this afternoon for the high temperature. Not too windy, but a little breezy. Winds from the southeast at 5 to 15 miles per hour. And then a mild evening. As we look into tomorrow, though, Cavaliers River Parade going to be happening tomorrow. A lot of us heading to school and to work in the morning. There is going to be a possibility for some drizzle, and even on Monday, a slight chance for storms. It's not going to be a drought buster, but it is something that I want to walk through, especially if you are planning on going to the Cavaliers River Parade in the evening tomorrow. So I'll have a look ahead coming up in just a bit at that storm chance. Sarah.
Thank you, Sarah. New this morning, a man injured after he was hit by an SUV while riding his skateboard last night. This happened around 11:30 on West Hutchins Place near 35 on the southwest side. According to police, the man was on his skateboard in the middle of the road when a black SUV hit him. The skateboarder was taken to the hospital in critical condition. The driver of the SUV did stop to help the man and is not facing any charges. Police are ruling this an accident.
On the other side of town, another person hit by a separate vehicle. This happening just after 2 a.m. on Brenhaven Street. That's near Roland Road and Pecan Valley Drive on the east side. Officers in the scene telling us a man was reversing his vehicle. A woman walked behind him. That's when she was hit. Now, she was taken to the hospital. She's expected to be okay. But it's what happened after that is bringing charges. San Antonio police tell us the driver got angry about the situation, started to argue with the woman's friends. 2 people arrested at the scene. Charges are pending, and we're still waiting to hear from police about what exactly those charges are going to be. Top stories this morning. After more than a week, the Texas A&M Forest Service tells us the wildfire in Medina County is officially 100% contained. Remember, the wildfire began last Friday and it ended up burning more than 1,000 acres. Crews conducted extensive cleanup operations over the last few days due to internal pockets of unburned material. The Medina County Emergency Services posting on their Facebook page, all units have returned home, and the post also thanking the community for all the support.
After 2 years of no justice, the family for a woman who was shot and killed during a robbery at a convenience store. The family is now filing a wrongful death lawsuit against the establishment. 40-year-old Pollyanna Smotherman died back in July of 2020 while working at the Easy Mart on FM 3009 in Garden Ridge. Police say a man walked into the store, allegedly shot her and stole cash and lottery tickets before running off. The civil lawsuit filed on behalf of Smotherman's estate alleges there were several security issues and that it was not the first time an Easy Mart employee died at the workplace. The lawsuit also states the company did not provide compensation benefits. Meanwhile, police are still looking for the suspect in this case and ask anyone with information to call the Garden Ridge Police Department. That number is 210-651-6441. This morning, the fight for the control over Ukraine continues with more people trying to evacuate the war zone.
And Ukrainian forces stepping up their efforts to take back control.
ABC's Karina Mitchell has a story.
As Russian troops retreat from much of northern Ukraine, a senior Ukrainian defense official says the entire region of the capital city of Kyiv has been liberated. In his latest address, President Volodymyr Zelensky says, quote, there are more Ukrainian flags in areas that had been temporarily occupied. But he also warns while the Russians are slowly moving out across much of Ukraine, many of those forces are redeploying to eastern Ukraine, setting up a potentially decisive battle ahead in the Donbas region. Military officials also say as the Russian forces leave, they're planting mines in homes, on streets, and even under the dead. In Bucha, northwest of the capital, entire neighborhoods are reduced to rubble. In the besieged southeastern city of Mariupol, the humanitarian crisis is growing. The Red Cross once again trying to get a humanitarian convoy through on Saturday. Meantime, Poland is still struggling with the 2.4 million people who have crossed the border seeking shelter from the war, including this 13-year-old.
What's been the hardest thing coming to a new school?
I don't know how they are talking to each other, and I don't know their jokes. It's difficult to understand their mind.
Officials say 700,000 school-age children are among the millions seeking shelter in Poland. Karina Mitchell, ABC News, New York.
Time now, 6:07, 61 degrees out.
Still ahead on GMSA, how community and state leaders are coming together to try and fix the state's foster care system.
Plus, we know him all too well. Manu Ginobili, congratulations,
Manu!
First ballot Hall of Famer. We talk about it all the time. It's the block on Harden that's just stuck in our heads.
It was just an iconic moment. All right, taking a look outside with live cam. Sarah says it's 61 degrees at 6:07 this morning. She'll have our Sunday forecast when we come back.
Good morning, welcome back, and happy Sunday. Just about 6:11 this morning, 61 degrees. It's warmer in the studio than it is outside.
It's warm in here at the beginning of the show, and then later on it's like tundra. But Sarah, so yesterday that humidity kind of cleared out later in the day. Can we expect any of that humidity back today, or?
It'll be a touch more humid today, Sarah and Max, but all in all, a warm day. If you're planning on being outside, you will not need the jacket at all today. Even in the evening hours, it's going to be very mild. Outside right now, though, it is a touch cool in some spots. Let's take a look out there. This is a look at the airport, and it's mild at the airport. It's 61 degrees with dew points in the 50s. Dew points are a little lower than they were this time yesterday, so not even as muggy as it was yesterday in the morning hours. But when we look at temperatures elsewhere, you can see where it is chilly. Like up in the hill country, it's 48 in Kerrville. You can also see that clouds have started to move in the overnight hours. And so early this morning, as we get closer to San Antonio here, you can see that there are clouds for areas generally south of a New Braunfels to Bandera line, and that's where temperatures are a little bit warmer. Those clouds acting like a blanket to keep in some of the warmth from yesterday. 61 in San Antonio, 61 in Converse, 67 at Stinson, 60 in New Braunfels, 62 in Hondo, and 61 in Devine. But up in near Bernie Stage, Kerrville, and Comfort, temperatures are in the 40s because we've had clear skies and it's been able to be chilly. In the morning hours, we're going to see temperatures rise there, though, soon. Now, looking ahead to the futurecast, you can see that some of these clouds are going to be around early this morning, but as we head toward lunch and into the afternoon, it's going to be another sunny day. And so Yesterday, we got up into the low 90s. Today, we're just going to be a touch cooler than that, but it's still going to be warm. It'll be near 90 in San Antonio, 89 in Converse, 90 in Stinson, 87 in Seguin, 88 in New Braunfels, 85 in Gonzales, 88 in Nixon, 91 in Sabinal, 92 in Uvalde. It'll be 89 in Bandera, and up in the hill country where temperatures are starting off in the 40s, should reach the mid 80s, 85 in Comfort and 85 in Kerrville. Here's a look at your 12-hour forecast. Your KSAT 12-hour forecast. Winds today going to be from the southeast at 5 to 15 miles per hour. For the first part of the day here, those winds are generally going to be calm. By 10, we'll already be at 68 degrees. Around lunchtime, we're going to be looking at temperatures climbing into the 80s, so it's going to get warmer around lunch. Winds will pick up, too, from the southeast steady at about 10 miles per hour. And then into the later part of the afternoon, you'll really start to feel that southeast breeze up to about 15 miles per hour and a high temperature close to 90 degrees. If you're planning on going out there, though, tonight, maybe for Taste of New Orleans or other fiesta festivities, know that it's going to be breezy with those winds from the southeast at about 10 to 15 miles per hour. Temperatures will be very mild, only in the 70s, so you're not going to need that jacket. And by midnight, you'll notice clouds moving in. Those clouds moving in as humidity is going to surge in the overnight hours, and we're going to see our rain chances tick up too. Although tomorrow the rain chances are not good, only 30% both in chance and coverage, but there is some things I want to talk about. So the first thing to talk about when we look at the futurecast is that by early tomorrow morning, there will be some areas of patchy drizzle. So your morning commute should be damp in spots. Temperatures will be in the 60s, and those clouds are going to be a bit stubborn tomorrow. Those clouds are going to stick around. So tomorrow's going to be a mainly cloudy day, and as a result of that, temperatures in the afternoon should be a little bit cooler, but still warm. Highs in the 80s. And notice that, yeah, there is still a possibility for 1 or 2 stray showers during the afternoon tomorrow, although the chance for rain during the afternoon tomorrow is only 20%. Let's go ahead and move to a time frame that a lot of people are interested, the Cavaliers River Parade, 7 to 9. Now, we'll be in the 70s. And temperatures will be in the 70s around the time of the Cavaliers River Parade. And there is a possibility for some isolated light rain or sprinkles. Now, if we see a little bit more sun during the day, this is why tomorrow's forecast is highly conditional. If we see a little bit more sun tomorrow in the afternoon, that means that storms will be possible right around the time of the Cavaliers Parade. So we're going to have to watch that very carefully. But as it stands right now, it really looks like we'll only be dealing with some light rain or sprinkles, and it'll be in the 70s. So not very bad at all. As we head into the evening and overnight hours, Monday night into Tuesday, our eyes are going to be out west. This may not happen, okay? But one of the possibilities tomorrow is that after about midnight, we could see a complex of storms that develops out west and pushes into the San Antonio metro area. We'll be watching this carefully because, again, it could also not happen. The atmosphere ingredients may not come together to produce what you're seeing here on the screen. But we'll keep an eye on things. If that does happen, some of these storms could be on the strong or severe side with hail and gusty winds possible. So another day, we're going to really need to pay attention to the forecast tomorrow, although most of the severe weather will be up near the Dallas-Fort Worth area and to points out to the east. So paying close attention to tomorrow, only a 30% chance for light rain or storms, just being honest with you. And the biggest thing is that either way, this is not going to help out the drought situation all that much because rainfall would just not amount to much and will only be in isolated areas. Otherwise, it's going to be a hot Tuesday. The record high for the day is 93, and we're forecasting 95. So we're likely to beat that record. Front moves through Wednesday, cools us back down into the 70s and 80s, but makes it very windy. High fire danger will be possible Wednesday and Thursday. And then Friday and Saturday, Battle of Flowers, Fiesta Flambeau, looks pretty good. Hey, Taste of New Orleans continuing today. I've got that forecast coming up in a bit.
Thank you, Sarah.
Awesome. Thank you, Sarah Spivey. Just about 6:17, 61 degrees out. All right, we got soccer. We may have jinxed SAFC yesterday. They were here at home defending the home turf at Toyota Field. We have all the highlights, what you need to know in just a bit. Good morning, welcome back. And hey, go SAFC. Sorry we made you jinx you yesterday. Last night hosting the Phoenix Rising FC at Toyota Field. No score until the 56th minute. SAFC goalkeeper Jordan Farr making a great diving stop, but the rebound trickles right to a Phoenix player, puts it under the crossbar for a 1-0 lead. Phoenix would add another goal in stoppage time, and they defeat SAFC 2-0. All right, from soccer to golf, a gorgeous day out on the fairway. Valero Texas Open at TPC San Antonio yesterday, round 3 in the books. And here we go. Dylan Fratelli making a birdie on 14. Wait for it. Got to wait for the close. There you go. That's too far for a gimme. All right, dropping him to 10 under. He finished the day. Brent Snedeker finding a birdie on the par 3 17th. He had 3 birdies on the final 5 holes, shooting a 67, sitting at 10 under as well. JJ Spawn chipping in for a birdie. Look at that. That's just gorgeous. I don't even know how you do that. All right, he's on 8 under, and he fired a 3 under, 69, tied for the lead at -10. Bo Hostler on 16 knocks down his 3rd straight birdie. Great day to be out on the links. He is in a 4-way tie for the lead. And here you go. Talk about leads. Manu Ginobili, congratulations, elected to the NBA Basketball Hall of Fame, a first ballot inductee. The Hall made the announcement just yesterday at the men's NCAA Final Four in New Orleans. Now, we can say so much about Manu, all the rings, obviously the Euro, and that, I mean, just gorgeous. Around the back Euro, reverse, come on. But he sacrificed his stats for the good of the team. He quickly turned into one of the top reserves in NBA history, a fierce competitor, put his body on the line too many times to count. He had a flair for the dramatic. Spurs fans love him. San Antonio loves him.
There it is. Love that.
And although he is a Hall of Fame inductee, he still can't help but to be modest Manu.
I was part of 2 incredible teams. And if it wasn't for being part of those 2 teams, I wouldn't be here. It's not just about individual accomplishments. I never won a scoring championship, an MVP, even first team. I'm here because of my surroundings, of the players I play with, of the coaches I've been coached with, and the organizations. I don't take it as an individual achievement. It's just that I've been in the right place in the right time, and I contribute the way I could, and we all make each other better, and that's why I'm here.
It's just an amazing person. So the class of 2022 will be enshrined during festivities in Massachusetts on September 9th and September 10th. You know, David Sears was one of the first people to interview Manu when he became a Spur, a 2nd-round pick, I believe 57 overall. And speaking of the Spurs, they do take the court again this evening, taking on the Trailblazers, and they are still trying to make the play-in tournament.
Congratulations, Manu. You deserve it.
Congratulations. 623, 61 degrees out.
A lot of Fiesta events going on today as the first weekend of Fiesta wraps up. Coming up next, we take a look at a crowd favorite, Taste New Orleans. Is that John Paul Barajas?
Yes, it is. Good morning, welcome back, and happy Fiesta. First weekend of Fiesta in the books, and there are still so many events going on to check out, including Taste New Orleans at the Sunken Garden Theater. So yesterday, John Paul Barajas out there, one of 3 judges for the food contest. The winners are going to be announced today.
He looks so happy.
I mean, wouldn't you be?
I would be too. So the best part of this, the proceeds go to 20 area high school students who need the help getting a head start on their college tuition fund. Today is the last day to try and head out. Taste of New Orleans. Gates open from noon to 10 p.m.
They had me at the gumbo.
Yes, delicious. Just head to KSAT.com for all of that Fiesta information.
Time now, 627, 61 degrees out.
Still ahead on GMSA, what is being proposed to try and fix the state's foster care system?
And investigators have a lot more questions than answers after a man was found shot just outside a bar. Jonathan Cotto joining us live with the details.
Live from KSAT 12. Good Morning San Antonio starts right now.
Good morning and happy Sunday, 6:30 this morning, April 3rd. Thank you so much for joining us. So yesterday, out and about, Fiesta, what is it? Cactus and
succulent.
Okay, so did you get any?
Yeah, I got these, they're called like Napoleon hats.
Okay.
They're little floppy, they're fuzzy succulents.
Nice.
I'm not a succulent person at all. I like flowers. So
yeah.
Not very good. Let's see if I can keep them alive.
You're like our resident gardener.
Yeah. Well, I'm trying to be. And Sarah, I just know that they need a lot of sun. Are we going to have sunshine today?
We are going to have so much sun today, although we're starting off with clouds. So a lot like yesterday, cloudy to start the day, but sunny as we head into the morning and afternoon hours. Let's take a look outside right now. Yes, it is cloudy. It's 61 degrees and dew points are in the 50s. But elsewhere, you need a sweater, especially if you're up in the hill country. It's 55 in Bulverde, 44 in Comfort, 47 in Kerrville, 50 in Bernie, 60 in New Braunfels, 61 in Converse, 67 in Stinson, and 64 in Castroville. Today is going to be a warm one. A lot of people enjoying some time outdoors for Fiesta. Last day of Taste of New Orleans, going on from noon to 10 p.m. at the Sunken Garden Theater. If you're planning on being outside today, know it's going to get warm. By 4, we'll be near 90 degrees. So around noon, near 80, and then around 4, near 90 degrees with totally sunny skies. Then this evening, things are going to be fairly mild. Temperatures will fall into the 70s, but we'll see humidity surge in overnight, and we're likely to have some drizzle tomorrow morning. Now, our rain chances do go up Monday and Monday night, but it doesn't look great as far as widespread rain is concerned. Our chance for showers and storms is about 30%, but there are some details there that I want to work out, including what it may look like for the Cavaliers River Parade. So continue to check back in. I'll have a look at that forecast and look at the future cast in just a few minutes as far as that rain is concerned. Sarah and Max.
Thank you, Sarah. New this morning, Bexar County deputies tell us they're investigating a shooting that ended with one person in the hospital. Jonathan Cotto joins us live. Good morning, Jonathan. What have you been able to learn?
Good morning, Max. Information is limited, but we do know deputies found a man with a gunshot wound in his car off of the 6700 block of FM 78 just shortly after 2. They tell us the victim was able to tell them that he was shot in the parking lot of a nearby bar, but that's all they were able to get from him. They say they went to that bar, they found shell casings at the entrance, but that's about it. They're still trying to get information on exactly what went down at that bar. I can tell you right now the victim was taken to BAMC. They say in serious condition. They're hoping they can question the victim later today in hopes of getting a better description or a description of the person or persons involved in this shooting. But of course, this is all under investigation. Reporting live, Jonathan Cotto, KSAT 12 News.
Thank you, Jonathan. Also new this morning, 2 men shot, 1 in the head, and police are looking for a group of suspects. Gunshots ringing out after midnight at the Eagle Ridge Apartments on Harry Warsbach near Eisenhower Road. That's on the city's northeast side. Police say the 2 victims were on the walkway of a building when several suspects walked up and shot them both. The man shot in the head was rushed to the hospital in critical condition. The other victim also taken to the hospital in serious condition. He was shot in the leg and possibly the chest. The suspects ran from the scene and are still at large.
Now take a look at this. A home east of downtown filled with debris this morning after an overnight fire. Now investigators, they're working to figure out how the fire started. So this is video from around 11:30 last night. This house in the 700 block of Indiana Street. Firefighters on the scene telling us the structure was destroyed, but it was a vacant home and no injuries were reported. Arson investigators now working the case.
Broken and horrible are some of the common words being used to describe the state's foster care system, and lack of places for kids to stay who are under Child Protective Services and Family Protective Services care is also troubling. John Paul Barajas gives us a look at some of those issues brought up yesterday at the Texas State Employee Union Town Hall and potential solutions.
The state has too many foster kids in their care and not enough places to house them. Child Protective Services and Family Protective Services refers to these kids as child without placement, and they often have to be put up in hotels and motels.
It's gotten so bad now that we're in crisis.
State Senator Jose Menendez explained the reason it's hard to find placement a lot of the time, on top of the lack of availability, is because many of the kids are older, they may be struggling with mental health issues, and they've dealt with a lot of abuse. This problem also leading to safety issues for the kids. Just this week here at home, a 15-year-old girl in the care of CPS was grazed in the neck by a bullet after she had snuck away from the supervision of those taking care of her. Which brings up another issue. Judge Rosie Spidlin Gonzalez says employees are overworked, undertrained, and don't have enough resources.
We're putting the health and mental health and physical health of these caseworkers at risk because they become frontline workers trying to manage high-level needs kids in motels and hotels.
All of the speakers at the town hall emphasized the need for something to change, saying the system is only making mental health issues worse for both the kids who have already been through so much and the workers who are tasked with taking care of them. A hopeful turning point, $26 million is going to the Public Safety Division that will then be used to address mental health.
And that was John Paul Bajas reporting. One of the things tossed around to accomplish their goal was potentially getting the San Antonio Board of Realtors and Airbnbs involved so housing for the children is better. Now to the latest on the issues with Southwest Airlines yesterday. A quote, planned system outage is what affected Southwest flights nationwide, including some at Houston, and we even had some right here in San Antonio. While Southwest has said the system issues have been resolved, passengers could still expect further delays. In a statement, the airline said the outage was due to technical issues that came up after routine overnight maintenance affecting flights that were scheduled to depart earlier yesterday morning. It is unknown how many flights were impacted.
Now to the latest in the pandemic, COVID-19 numbers in the United Kingdom reaching record highs. About 1 in 13 people over there estimated to be infected with the virus in just the last week. So all of these numbers coming from the latest figures from Britain's official statistics agency. The latest surge driven by the most transmissible Omicron variant, BA2, which is the dominant variant across the UK. More than 67% of people 12 years and older have been vaccinated in that region and had their booster or a third dose of the vaccine. Starting just yesterday, parents could begin scheduling a low-dose vaccine for children between the ages of 5 and 12 years old in England.
Well, COVID-19 has taken a toll on all of us, but especially on high schoolers. That's according to new findings from a CDC study. More than a third of U.S. high school students say that struggled with their mental health during most of the pandemic. More than 2 out of 5 felt sadness or hopelessness that just wouldn't go away and cause them to stop doing things they enjoyed. And about 1 in 5 seriously considered suicide. Health experts say the pandemic has caused problems for teens that could affect them down the line, which is why it's crucial to support them now and know they'll need that support as they get older as well.
All right, so played sports growing up.
Yes.
So played sports. A lot of my friends played sports. And one of the big questions that we kind of grew up asking was, what is a concussion? What do you know about it? What are the symptoms? And are there lasting impacts?
And it can be pretty serious.
It can be really serious. And it's a question that still lingers through every sport really growing up.
Especially for parents nowadays.
Especially for parents nowadays. That is why this morning on Leading SA at 8 a.m. we have a specialist, a sports medicine specialist with UT Health San Antonio joining us. So if you have any questions, you can submit them right now. Just head to the Leading SA section, KSAT.com. Then join us at 8 a.m. Hear from the specialist. Get all the answers. Time now just about 6:40, 61 degrees out.
All right, as prices continue to rise, Americans are living paycheck to paycheck. Still ahead on GMSA. Some tips if you're looking for a better job or additional job to help cover some of those bills.
Well, let's see, if you have a little extra to spend, we have some of the top-rated products that are actually on sale this month. I could go for a burger, if we're going to be honest.
Hey, they're expensive nowadays. All right, 61 degrees at 6:39 this morning. Sarah Spivey has our Sunday forecast and that potential maybe not rain situation we may be facing Monday.
Good morning and welcome back. So whether you're grilling burgers or digging into the yard work, it is a great time of year to be outside.
I'm doing a lot of that right now. It's also a great time to find some deals to help you do those things.
That's right. 12 on your sides. Marilyn Moritz shares which top-rated products are now on sale.
Spring flowers are blooming and so are some sales.
In April, we tend to see a proliferation of springtime deals, especially around outdoor equipment like lawnmowers, chainsaws, and leaf blowers. As people are getting ready for the warmer seasons, retailers tend to start dropping prices.
Consumer Reports tracks prices of its top tested products all year. So here are the deals right now. First, get your grill on. This Dynaglow barrel style charcoal grill is now on sale for $279 at Walmart. It performed excellently in tests. If you prefer gas for your grill, this mid-sized Weber Genesis is now $749 at Lowe's. Now's a good time to clean up on some savings.
We tend to see a lot of sales on vacuums in April as people start thinking about spring cleaning. You'll see discounts on handhelds, canisters, uprights, stick vacuums, and robot vacs.
The Shark Vertex Ultralight Vacuum is now $249 at Amazon and Best Buy. This corded vacuum aced the test for carpets, bare floor, and pet hair. If you're cleaning up the lawn too, this Ryobi battery-powered lawnmower is on sale for $516 at the Home Depot. And this Ego Power Plus battery-powered chainsaw is marked down to $369 at Amazon. A couple of other things that tend to go on sale in April: string trimmers and bike helmets for when you're done with the lawn. Marilyn Moritz, KSAT 12 News.
All right, I'm glad we mentioned it because it is a perfect time to be outside.
It is. I did a little bit of yard work. I planted sunflower seeds last Saturday. And yesterday I noticed some of them are just peeping out. It's really cute. It makes me excited for spring, Sarah.
Yeah, we really could use some good rain, couldn't we? And I have a feeling that tomorrow's rain chance is really going to disappoint more people than it is going to help out any kind of drought situation. It is not going to be a drought buster tomorrow by any means. But there is a chance for rain. There is a chance for storms that we have to talk about. For now, let's talk about today's forecast. Temperatures are going to be rising from the 60s to near 90 degrees this afternoon. Take a look outside right now. 61 mostly cloudy degrees outside with dew points in the 50s. It's just a touch muggy out there, especially south of Highway 90 and along Highway 90. That's where dew points are close to 60 degrees. But notice how much drier it is across the hill country. Dew points only in the 40s and 30s up there, and that feels a lot drier. And you can actually see this reflected in temperatures this morning. Temperatures this morning are chilly up in the hill country. It's 46 in Kerrville, 44 in Comfort, 50 in Boerne, 55 in Bulverde, but almost 10 to 15 degrees warmer around San Antonio. It's 67 in Simpson, 61 in Converse, 60 in Devine, 62 in Hondo, and 60 in Los Maples. Now, we are going to see those dew points mix down today, so during the afternoon, humidity should be relatively low, and it'll feel warm but comfortable with that low humidity. However, by tomorrow morning, we see humidity spike back up again, and that'll present itself not only in the form of feeling the humidity, but also in the form of drizzle. But today, these clouds that are out there right now this morning are going to head out of here, and it's going to be a sunny afternoon and on the warm side. So temperatures will be slowly warming up. We'll still have mostly cloudy skies 7, 8 o'clock this morning, but by 10 a.m. we'll really start to see quite a bit of sun. It'll be close to 70 degrees by 10 a.m. and then into the lunch hour or the brunch hour. It is Sunday after all. Temperatures are going to be near 80 degrees. Notice winds are going to pick up too. It's not going to necessarily be windy, but it is going to be breezy. Southeast winds at about 5 to 15 miles per hour. More of a breeze in the afternoon when winds will be from the southeast at about 15 miles per hour and will be near 90 degrees this afternoon. It's going to be a warm one. If you're planning on enjoying some time outdoors for Fiesta, just know that you're going to want the sunscreen and you're going to want to stay hydrated. Elsewhere, highs will be near 90 degrees. It'll be 87 in Seguin, 88 in New Braunfels, 89 in Castroville, 89 in Hondo, 91 in Sabinal, and 88 in Floresville. All right, let's talk about that chance for rain tomorrow. First thing to know is that there is going to be some drizzle in the early morning hours. Bit of a nuisance. If you're planning on taking your morning commute tomorrow morning, just know that you may have to turn those windshield wipers on once or twice. 65 degrees in the early morning hours. It's going to be mainly cloudy for your Monday, and the clouds are actually going to keep the potential for storms down tomorrow. If we see a little bit more sun, we could have more storminess in the afternoon, but generally we're really only going to be mostly cloudy, high temperature in the low 80s, so quite a bit cooler than today, but still warm. As we head into the evening hours for the river parade, the Cavaliers River Parade, there could be a few isolated light rain showers out there. Again, if we get some sun in the afternoon, though, we'll have to watch out for the potential for storms. A very low chance, 30%, but the chance is there. As we head into the later evening and overnight hours, it is possible that a few storms could develop out west. This also may not happen, all right? We may not get those storms out to the west, but it is a possibility. And if they do develop out west in the overnight hours Monday into Tuesday, we'll have to watch to see if they can move into San Antonio. If those storms develop out west tomorrow in the overnight hours, they could become strong to severe with wind and hail possible. Our severe chances isolated around San Antonio with scattered severe storms likely up near the Dallas-Fort Worth area and into Louisiana for the Monday forecast. Otherwise, after that small chance for rain, again, not going to amount to much, not going to going to help us out with the drought. After that small chance for rain, it's going to be very hot Tuesday, 95 for the high, potentially record-breaking heat. Then windy on Wednesday and Thursday. Temperatures will drop back down into the 70s for the highs into the weekend. Looking nice for Battle of Flowers in Fiesta Flambeau.
Thank you, Sarah, and we'll make sure to keep it on the KSAT Authority app for tomorrow to see what ends up happening with that rain, Sarah.
All right, thank you, Sarah. Just about 6:50, 61 degrees out.
Coming up next, tips for job seekers looking to cope with rising inflation. More Americans looking to cope with rising inflation and a position that fits their lifestyle are submitting their resumes. ABC's Deidre Bolton shares some advice for job seekers who are tired of living paycheck to paycheck.
This morning, millions of Americans squeezed by inflation, left without enough money to cover basics. A recent survey from Salary Finance shows 1 in 5 Americans runs out of money before payday.
When you're living paycheck to paycheck, it hits you like a ton of bricks.
Ross Preluker is a single father from Pennsylvania. He's working multiple jobs to make ends meet. He's a multimedia ad producer during the day, bartender at night.
It's a struggle to survive every single day.
And he's not alone.
These numbers are not good. They show a lot of people are in trouble.
But a recent bright spot with the March jobs report. 431,000 jobs were added to the U.S. economy, the 11th straight month of an amount higher than 400,000. The unemployment rate is also down to 3.6%, almost back to pre-pandemic levels. For many workers, especially women who left the job market due to responsibilities at home, including childcare, that means they can look for new or better jobs.
Employers know there is a tight labor market, and in order to attract and retain their top talent, they're being more flexible.
Savannah Fabius felt stuck in her job at the height of the pandemic. She found a new one, and with the state of the job market, sees a chance to upgrade again.
I just want something that I genuinely would like to do. I don't want to hate getting up in the morning.
For some, many opportunities may mean a non-traditional schedule or permanent work from home.
Evaluate the whole package. That includes your health care, benefits, perks.
Other suggestions for job seekers? Know the marketplace for your skill set and know your worth. Don't be afraid to negotiate. Think about details ahead of time, including salary and hours. Cast a wide net if you can work remotely. Many are no longer limited by zip code.
And that was Deidre Bolton reporting.
Time now, 6:55, 61 degrees out.
We'll be right back.
Good morning. Coming up here on GMA, overnight developments on the war in Ukraine. Russian forces launching new strikes in the key port city of Odessa as Ukrainian officials say they've regained control over its northern region, including areas around Kyiv. But we're also getting graphic new images of the destruction and death left behind. Plus, only on GMA, we're hearing from Denzel Washington as he speaks with Bishop T.D. Jakes on the events surrounding Will Smith's Oscar outrage, as the incident has sparked a widespread cultural discussion. And that dream matchup, highlights from the game last night as Duke and North Carolina met for the first time in the NCAA tournament. Coach K's lasting legacy with Duke and the championship now set as March Madness rolls into April. It's all ahead here on GMA.
Although there are clouds out there this morning, skies will be clearing. It's going to be a sunny and warm Sunday. Great for Fiesta if you're planning on being out there. Near 90 degrees this afternoon, southeast winds at 5 to 15 miles per hour. We have a very conditional rain chance tomorrow. The chance for rain only 30%, but if we do get some showers and storms, some of those storms could be severe in the evening hours. So we'll continue to keep you updated. Check in with Katie this evening. She's going to have an updated forecast. I'll have a look at the futurecast coming up at 8 too. Warm on Tuesday, 95 degrees, and then windy and mild for the remainder of the week.
Hey, we got good weather, though, for Friday and Saturday for the parades.
It will. It'll even be a little chilly in the morning, a Battle of Flowers.
Look at that. I remember 2 years ago, or
three
years
yeah.
ago, it was really hot, like baking in the sun.
Jeez.
Yeah. All right, Sarah Spivey, thank you so much. Thank you for watching. We're going to take an hour-long break for Good Morning America, but don't worry, we're back here at 8 a.m. We're going to hear from Sarah. We're going to have more from Jonathan Cotto, and of course, we're going to have a leading essay talking with a sports medicine specialist from UT Health San Antonio.
We'll see you at 8.
Live from KSAT 12, Good Morning San Antonio starts right now.
Gunfire at a local apartment complex ends with 2 men in the hospital. We have the latest on the situation and their conditions.
And it's a sigh of relief in Medina County as fire crews finally on the Doscote wildfire.
Good morning, San Antonio. I'm Jonathan Cotto. In just a couple of hours, a centuries-old tradition of charreria is going to be kicking off right here at Rancho del Charro. We have all the details coming up on GMSA.
And speaking of Fiesta, the weather has been picture perfect the last couple of days for the start of Fiesta. So what is the rest of the weekend? What does this coming week look like? We're going to check in with Sarah Spivey in just a few moments. But until then, good morning. It is 8 o'clock this Sunday, April 3rd. Thank you so much for starting your morning with us. Out and about for Fiesta.
Yeah, a little bit. Went to the Fiesta Cactus and Succulent show.
Nice. Botanical Gardens?
Yeah, it was out. It's actually at San Antonio Garden Center right in front of the Botanical Gardens. It's nice. Got some succulents for the house.
Did you get some sunshine?
A little bit of sunshine. Sarah, it got a little toasty yesterday.
Oh my goodness, our high temperature yesterday was 92 degrees. Ooh. Yes, it was hot yesterday. And today's going to be another day where we'll be near 90. Outside right now, a bit of a mixed bag when it comes to temperatures depending on where you live. It's mild in San Antonio, it's 62 degrees, 61 in New Braunfels. But look up in the hill country, 46 in Comfort, 49 in Kerrville. The reason why it's so much cooler up in the hill country is that it's not humid. Dew points are very low in the hill country right now, but around San Antonio, dew points are starting to get up into the 50s and 60s. The 60s is where you can really start to feel the humidity. Overnight, we had Gulf of Mexico humidity return from the south, and that's why up in the hill country, those areas north have not yet seen that increase in humidity. There's also a little bit of fog in some areas, like out toward Gonzales, visibility is very low. In New Braunfels, visibility is even reduced to about 6 miles. But as we head into the day and into the afternoon, we're going to see sun return. It's a little cloudy out there right now, but the sun will shine this afternoon, near 90 for the high temperature. It's not going to be as muggy in the afternoon either. Southeast winds 10 to 15 miles per hour, so a bit of a breeze as well. But coming up in the forecast, we're going to talk about the potential for rain tomorrow. It is not going to be a situation where drought is going to be improved, but there is a chance for some showers and even some storms in the forecast tomorrow. So I'll have those details for you in just a few minutes. Max and Sarah.
Thank you, Sarah. New into the newsroom. Police in Sacramento, California say at least 6 people are dead, 9 more injured after what they're calling a shooting rampage happened earlier this morning in downtown Sacramento. There's video posted on Twitter showing people running in the street with the sound of gunfire in the background. Multiple ambulances and other first responders were on the scene in these videos. We are still waiting to learn who was responsible, what exactly happened, and why. More and more information continues to come in, so make sure to stay with KSAT throughout the day on air and online for the latest information.
New this morning, 2 men shot, 1 in the head, and police are looking for a group of suspects. Gunshots ringing out after midnight at the Eagle Ridge Apartments. That's on Warsbach Road near Roxbury Drive. That's on the city's northwest side. Police say the 2 victims were on the walkway of a building when several suspects walked up and shot them both. The man shot in the head was rushed to the hospital in critical condition. The other victim was also taken to the hospital in serious condition. He was shot in the leg and possibly the chest. The suspects ran from the scene and no arrests have been made.
And another shooting to tell you about. This one just outside a bar off of FM 78, and it ends with a man in the hospital. Deputies on the scene telling us they found the victim with a gunshot wound in his vehicle in the bar's parking lot. Now, the shooting happened just after 2 a.m. off of 78 near Woodglen Drive. Deputies found multiple shell casings at the front door of the bar. As for the victim, he was taken to the hospital in serious condition. Deputies say the victim has not been giving them a lot of information, but they are still investigating, still looking for who's responsible.
Another top stories this morning. It's been 6 years and the family of a murder victim is still holding out hope that their loved one's killer will be caught. The family of Richard Ramos hosted a balloon release in his honor yesterday. Ramos was found shot to death on North Picoso Street back in February of 2016. San Antonio police say he was meeting up with someone he met on Facebook to trade some items when he was shot. His mother says he was preparing for the birth of his daughter at the time of his passing.
They didn't give him a chance at all to see his daughter be born. and hold her. You know, it's not right for somebody just to come and take your life. And he was so outgoing, friendly, and he had a good heart.
Anyone with information on this case is asked to call SAPD's homicide unit. That number on your screen right now, 210-207-7635.
Well, the family of a woman who was shot and killed during a robbery of a convenience store, with the family now filing a wrongful death lawsuit against the store. 40-year-old Pollyanna Smotherman of Cibolo died in July of 2020, and she died while working at the Easy Mart on FM 3009 in Garden Ridge. Police say a man walked into the store, allegedly shot her, stole cash, and stole lottery tickets before running off. The civil lawsuit filed on behalf of Smotherman's estate alleges that there were security issues and that this was not the first time an Easy Mart employee died at the workplace. The lawsuit also states the company did not provide compensation benefits. Police are still searching for the person responsible for killing Pollyanna, asking anyone with any information to call the Garden Ridge Police Department. That number on your screen, 210-651-6441.
And some good news out of Medina County. The Doscote Fire is officially 100% contained. After more than a week, the wildfire in Medina County is officially 100% contained. This information coming from Texas A&M Forest Service. The wildfire began back on March 25th and ended up burning more than 1,000 acres. Crews have been conducting extended mop-up operations over the last few days because of some internal pockets of unburned material that was present. Medina County ESD also posting to their Facebook page that all units have returned home and are thanking everyone for their support.
We hear of people having a traumatic brain injury, a TBI, but what does that really mean? Traumatic brain injuries can have a wide range of psychological and physical effects.
So as many as 3.8 million concussions occur each year, and almost half of concussions that occur go undetected and untreated. This morning, we are joined by Dr. Caitlin Mooney, a sports medicine specialist at UT Health San Antonio, to explain. Good morning, Dr. Mooney. Thank you so much for taking the time to join us.
So first and foremost, what is a traumatic brain injury, and who is most at risk for it?
Sure. So traumatic brain injury occurs when you either hit your head or your body is involved in a trauma and your head has either a direct impact or kind of moves around in your skull and has an injury. So injuries range from mild, where you won't have a skull fracture or bleed, to severe, where the person might be even unconscious and have an ambulance arrive. So of course, the ones that would be going undetected would be more on the mild range. The people who are at risk for traumatic brain injuries tend to be the people who are more risk takers. So young adults, children are very at risk for traumatic brain injuries. They're very active. And then, anyone doing, sometimes accidental activities or motor vehicle accidents can also have a traumatic brain injury, but definitely the younger age groups tend to be more at risk. And then also older age groups are more at risk for falls, so they can also suffer quite a large percent of the traumatic brain injuries.
So what are some common events that could cause traumatic brain injuries? I know a lot of parents out there watching may be concerned about their kids playing sports, certain sports that may lead up to that.
Yeah, so sports and recreational activities are one of the leading causes of traumatic brain injuries, as well as car crashes. So the sports that commonly are involved, football being the highest risk, and then for females, it can be soccer. Also things like cheerleading, horseback riding, bike riding, hockey, which isn't very popular down here in Texas, all can have risk. And honestly, I've seen concussions in nearly every sport, including swimming, hit your head on the wall before flipping, or even track. So while there's higher risk sports, really any activity you can be at risk.
Now, for parents out there watching who have young kids playing sports, what are some of the symptoms that the parents should look out for?
Sure. So especially if you know that your child hit your head, but even without, if they're complaining of headache, they are acting a little odd, that could be confusion, or they're just not acting like themselves. Other concerning things could be nausea, vomiting. They can have vision change. That could be double vision, really sensitive to light. Even problems in school or balance problems can be a symptom of a concussion. So it's quite a wide range, and no concussion is really exactly the same, but those are some of the most common symptoms.
I know it can be concerning. So at what point should someone seek medical attention, or what point should a parent, get their child checked out?
Sure. So if you see these symptoms, for the majority of mild brain injuries, they can be assessed in a clinic in the following days. However, there are some more concerning symptoms that might lead someone to go to the ER and see a physician earlier. And those can be signs and symptoms of a bleed or a more severe traumatic brain injury. And those symptoms would be loss of consciousness, vomiting, especially repeat episodes of vomiting, slurred speech, not able to walk, having weakness, or really agitated, or just worsening headache and worsening symptoms. In that case, I would seek medical attention emergently. However, once you're being assessed, sometimes there isn't a bleed or a skull fracture, it is a concussion, but those are the ones that I would make sure got seen right away.
All right, Dr. Mooney, thank you so much for joining us this morning. We really appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Time now, 8:11, 63 degrees out.
Well, still ahead on GMSA, 2 U.S. senators say the business practices of the Hertz rental car business should be investigated after some 230 customers say the company accused them of stealing vehicles they rented.
All right, taking a live look out here at the Alamo City, 63 degrees now. What does the rest of your weekend look like? What about all the events planned for Fiesta this coming week? We're going to check with Sarah Spivey in just a bit. Good morning, welcome back, and happy Fiesta. There's so much going on this past week, this coming week, and happening today, a family-friendly event featuring fantastic food, ballet, folklorico, and mariachi music.
The oldest Charo Association in the United States preserving the rich culture and skill of the sport, and it's all taking place later this morning. Our Jonathan Cotto joins us live at El Rancho del Charo. Good morning, Jonathan.
Good morning, Sarah. Good morning, Max. Let me tell you, if you haven't been out to a Fiesta event, this is certainly one you don't want to miss. It's going to be taking later this morning. We're here at Rancho del Charro at one of the oldest Charro associations in the United States. With me, San Antonio Charro Association President Edmundo Rios. Good morning, sir. Thank you so much for being with us. Talk to us a little bit about what takes place in these grounds and what folks can expect to see when they plan to head out later this morning.
Today you're going to see a whole bunch of events. We have ballet folklorico, mariachi, we have dancing horses that are coming, and of course our charreada at 3 o'clock. There's 9 events from bull riding, bronc riding, horse reining, bull tailing, and manganas a caballo and a pie. So come on down. We'll be waiting for everybody to be here.
Now, Mr. Rios, talk to me a little bit about the art, the horsemanship, the skill. You know, we were talking off camera, just you mentioned to me, charro no se hace, se nace, meaning the folks that are on these horses, they've been doing this their entire lives, correct?
They've been doing it their entire lives, from they were born to, there's 3rd generations, 4th generation charros right now that we have in our association.
Now, your participation with Fiesta, talk to me a little bit about that. I know today is going to be kicking off at 11 and also some more events on Sunday. How has that experience been, Fiesta after Fiesta?
It's been awesome. Right now for Fiesta, we needed this. People need to come out and get out and stuff. And we can celebrate, we can party San Antonio and view a Fiesta.
Well, thank you so much, Rios. There you have it, folks. This event's going to be taking off at 11 o'clock this morning, and it's going to be... You can get your tickets here at the gate, but we'll have more information, more details for you coming up in the next half hour. Max, Sarah?
Thank you, Jonathan. Have you ever covered this event before?
Yes, it's fantastic.
The girls who ride the horses, it is amazing what they do. I highly recommend, if you've never been out there, to go and support them. Sarah, will the weather play nice?
Yeah, by 11, there's going to be plenty of sunshine out there, too. Although, if you look outside right now, it's all cloudy in San Antonio. But we do see a few peaks of sun through those clouds. The clouds have returned this morning temporarily. It's 62 degrees. Winds are calm, but the winds will be picking up today, and those skies will be clearing. Take a look at the satellite and the temperatures around the area. A bit of a mixed bag depending on where you live. So out west rather toward Del Rio, it's 67 degrees, but in Kerrville, it's 49. It's chilly up in the hill country this morning. In San Antonio, it's 62, 65 in Pleasanton. As we zoom in, you can see that over the last few hours, the clouds have returned from the south. And so even areas like Bernie, which have been clear for most of the morning, are now starting to become slightly cloudy, a little bit cloudier up toward Bandera, where it's 60 degrees. I mean, that's an 11-degree difference there from Kerrville to Bandera. 69 in Stinson, 63 in Converse, 62 in New Braunfels, and 65 in Pleasanton. So these clouds that are out there right now are going to dissipate. As I mentioned, by 11, there's going to be plenty of sun, and it's going to be another warm one. You know, yesterday we got up to 92 degrees, and today we're going to be in the 90s or in the upper 80s, near 90 degrees rather. 89 in San Antonio, 89 in Port SA, 87 Rio Medina for the high temperature, 85 in Kerrville, 87 in Seguin, 88 in New Braunfels, 85 in Bulverde, 90 in Pleasanton, 88 in Floresville, 88 in the Nixon-Smiley area. Here's your KSAT 12-hour forecast. Skies are going to be clearing. By noon, we're going to be near 80 degrees. Notice, too, that winds are going to pick up into the afternoon. We'll be looking at a southeast breeze at about 10 to 15 miles per hour. So it is going to be a touch breezy. Most of the afternoon will feature temperatures in the 80s. We may briefly cross to near 90 degrees. I've read about 5, and then into the evening, things are going to be fairly mild for us. So if you have plans to be out this Sunday for fiesta festivities this evening, just know that it's going to be very mild, a lot like yesterday. We'll be looking at the sunset at 7:54, and temperatures will be falling into the 70s. It's going to be a very mild evening, and then notice that clouds are actually going to increase by midnight. We are going to see rain chances tomorrow, but widespread healthy rain is not anticipated. About a 30% chance for some drizzle in the morning, and then into the afternoon some isolated showers and storms. So let me walk you through that. Tomorrow morning, as you're heading out for the morning commute, just know that there's going to be some areas of patchy drizzle. It's going to be very mild, right around 65 degrees in the morning hours. And then most of tomorrow is going to be fairly cloudy, a mainly cloudy day. By about 5 p.m., we'll see a high temperature of 82, so quite a bit cooler than the last few days, but still warm, and a small chance for a stray shower. Now, here's the important thing. If we see a little bit more sunshine during the day, we could have some storms on our hands by the time of the Cavaliers River Parade. However, as it stands right now, I think because it's going to be so cloudy, we'll really only have some isolated sprinkles or light rain showers. Otherwise, it's going to be fairly quiet for the River Parade with temperatures in the 70s. This particular forecast model does show a little bit of light rain occurring at the time, and that is possible. But again, if we see a little bit more sun, the heat acts like a fuel and could provide a little bit of oomph for some storms. And speaking of storms, we're going to have to be alert because overnight, Monday into Tuesday, there is a small chance for a few storms off to our west that could track over San Antonio by early Tuesday. All of this to say the better chance for storms tomorrow is up near the Dallas-Fort Worth area, and tomorrow is a day where you're going to have to pay very close attention to the weather because the ingredients have to come together to produce storms. We have the ingredients there, they just may not mix all together, but we're going to be looking at that very, very carefully tomorrow. As it stands, though, only a 30% chance for isolated showers and storms, not going to amount to much either way and help us out with the drought conditions, unfortunately. Otherwise, it's going to be hot Tuesday. Tuesday, high temperature of 95, beating that record likely of 93, and then windy. Wednesday and Thursday, temperatures more mild. For Battle of Flowers in the morning hours, it's going to be a little chilly. Temperatures will be in the 40s, 50s, and 60s, but we'll be looking at highs more comfortable in the 80s.
I like that mixing bowl.
Yeah, that's a good way to explain the weather. Yeah, the ingredients have to come together in order to get storms tomorrow.
Hopefully nothing gets mixed up. Thank you, Sarah.
Thank you, Sarah. 822, 63 degrees out.
Well, some customers of Hertz rental companies say renting a vehicle landed them in high water with the law. That story after the break. Two prominent U.S. senators are calling for a federal investigation into Hertz rental car company's business practices.
So get this, more than 200 customers of Hertz rental car company, a mainstream rental car company, they are now accusing the company of falsely calling the police and alleging that these individuals stole company cars that they paid for and already returned. So in terms of the Senate stepping up, Senator Richard Blumenthal of Connecticut wrote to Hertz requesting information on the company's policies and urging them to reverse course. Senator Elizabeth Warren of Massachusetts agrees with Senator Blumenthal.
Hertz maintains the customer complaints about false arrests have no merit.
That's crazy.
It's a wild story.
Yeah. Imagine you rented a vehicle, you returned it, and then...
Record everything.
Yes. Time now, 8:27, 64 degrees out.
Well, just ahead in our next half hour, a suspect is in custody in the shooting death of an off-duty Harris County Sheriff deputy. We'll have that information.
Good morning, welcome back, and happy Sunday. I'm Max Massey.
I'm Sarah Acosta. It's Sunday, April 3rd.
Nice.
Doing it. We're doing it today.
We are doing it today. We've been doing Fiesta for the last few days. Do you want to show off the earrings?
Oh yeah. Okay, Fiesta earrings.
Yeah.
I love Fiesta because we get to wear bright colors,
nice.
Accessorize. So Viva Fiesta.
Bringing the sunshine we need this morning.
We got to, Sarah. And today, will we have that sunshine?
We will, although it is kind of cloudy outside right now, but we are going to have clearing skies, and by the mid-morning and especially by lunch, we'll have sunny skies. There are some areas of fog, mainly east and southeast of San Antonio along the coastal plain there. Beeville at 0 visibility, Gonzales at half a mile visibility. Even Pleasanton visibility is lowered to about 7 miles, but around San Antonio visibility is just fine. A little bit lower in New Braunfels. Now take a look outside right now. Clouds returned in the overnight hours. Early this morning, it is cloudy. It's 62 degrees, but as I mentioned, we're going to be seeing those skies clear. It is a lot cooler up in the hill country, and even in Bernie, it's 54 degrees. No clouds in that area until just recently, and so they were able to cool down a little bit more in the overnight hours. It's 66 in Castroville, 70 in Stinson, 63 Converse, 63 in New Braunfels, and 59 in Canyon Lake. Viva Fiesta today, last day of Taste of New Orleans. If you're planning on being out there from noon to about 10 p.m. at the Sunken Garden Theater and all around South Central Texas, it's going to be a warm one, near 90 degrees again today because of the abundant sunshine, and pretty mild in the evening. Now, coming up in the forecast, we are going to talk about tomorrow's rain chance. Notice that the chance for storms and showers is only about 30%. It's not going to be a widespread healthy rain event that's going to help us out with the drought, but there are a couple of things that we need to talk about, including the potential for some strong or severe storms in isolated pockets around the KSAT 12 viewing area. So we'll talk about that coming up in just a bit. Max and Sarah.
Thank you, Sarah. New this morning, a man hit by an SUV while riding his skateboard late last night. So take a look. This was the situation around 11:30 last night on West Hutchins Place near 35 on the city's southwest side. Police on the scene telling us the man was on his skateboard in the middle of the road. That's when a black SUV hit the man. Now the skateboarder taken to the hospital at last check in critical condition. The driver of the SUV did stop, try to help the man out. Right now, that driver not facing any charges. SAPD currently ruling this an accident. And on the other side of town, another person hit by a vehicle, this time on Brenhaven, which is near Roland and Pecan Valley Drive on the city's east side. Officers out there telling us a man was reversing his vehicle. That's when a woman walked behind and she was hit. Now, she was taken to the hospital. She's expected to be okay. But police tell us that the driver became angry about the situation, started to argue with that woman's friends. 2 people were arrested on the scene. Charges are now pending, and we are still waiting to learn what exactly those charges are.
Investigators are working to figure out how a fire started at this home on the city's east side. Fire crews were called out to the home in the 700 block of Indiana around 11:30 last night. Firefighters tell us the structure was destroyed, but it was a vacant home and no injuries were reported. Arson investigators are now working this case. Also new this morning, police make an arrest in a murder that happened almost 2 years ago. And according to a police affidavit, the suspect is the murder victim's stepdaughter. So police say 28-year-old Julie Ann Banda is charged with murder in the April 2020 killing of Carlos Chavez. So according to that affidavit, police say minutes before Chavez was shot outside his home in the 300 block Aldama on the west side, He had texted Banda. In those text messages between the two, according to that affidavit, show that Chavez was waiting on Banda to arrive at his home. The affidavit says after getting a text message from Banda that she was outside, Chavez went outside and was shot.
All right, if you're out and about today, there are some important closures you need to be aware of. A full closure of parts of I-35 on the city's northeast side. The area affected will be on I-35 between O'Connor Road and North Weidner Road. Now, the closure will happen today and next Sunday. CPS Energy crews, they're going to be out there working with TxDOT, replacing and relocating transmission structures. The closure will start at 9 a.m. and it'll go to 4 p.m. for 15-minute intervals.
Now to the flood of refugees. The United Nations saying more than 10 million have left Ukraine and are displaced from their homes.
ABC's Maria Villarreal explains how Ukraine's children, how they're adjusting to this new life as refugees.
This morning, Poland working to absorb nearly 2.5 million Ukrainians who've made it across the border. Up to 6,000 a day still funneling through this processing site in Warsaw. New numbers from the Polish Department of Education estimates more than 700,000 of those refugees are school-aged children.
What's been the hardest thing coming to a new school?
To be friends with others, because I don't know how they are talking to each other, and I don't know their jokes or something like that.
13-year-old Anastasia's father is fighting in Ukraine. School has become her safe space.
But here it's no one asked me about the war. No one said nothing about it.
New data shows at least 75,000 students have enrolled in Polish schools so far. For now, that's just over 10% of those eligible, meaning more will likely enroll soon. Anastasia and 3 more Ukrainian transplants now attend this school in Warsaw.
What do they like best about this school?
What people don't hate us.
Yeah, they welcome us very warm.
To help these kids settle in, the school hired Tatiana Turkolovich as a teacher's aide. She immigrated to Warsaw from Ukraine 3 years ago.
How this could affect them for the rest of their life?
Это большая психическая травма для детей, но я надеюсь, что они забудут это все, потому что надо как-то продолжать жить.
It's a life lesson most of these schools aren't equipped to teach.
Emergency funds are being set aside by countries that are trying to help these refugee children with their educational needs. For example, in Italy, they are setting aside about 1 million euros to help with housing and education. And right here in Poland, they are giving families about $70 a year to buy school supplies later on. Mireya Villarreal in Warsaw, Poland for ABC News.
In your morning headlines, authorities in Houston reportedly have arrested a suspect in the deadly shooting of Harris County Sheriff's deputy. That suspect is said to be 17 years old. The Harris County Sheriff's Office says the teenager is the third of the 3 suspects now in custody in the shooting and killing of Deputy Darren Almendarez. He was killed Friday after he and his wife interrupted the suspects as they were apparently trying to steal catalytic converters from his vehicle in a grocery store parking lot. The sheriff's office says Almendarez and the 3 suspects exchanged gunfire. He was able to hit 2 of the suspects. All the suspects are now facing capital murder charges.
Well, former New York Governor Andrew Cuomo filing a lawsuit against the New York State Ethics Commission, and he wants money over his book deal. So the New York State Joint Commission on Public Ethics wants Cuomo to pay back $5.1 million that he earned writing a book while he was a state employee. The battle of the proceeds from Cuomo's book, titled American Crisis: Leadership Lessons from the COVID-19 Pandemic, has been ongoing. Ethics commissioners claim state employees and resources were improperly used in creating this book. The lawsuit against the Ethics Commission comes as the former governor is said to be considering a political comeback. Remember, Cuomo resigned in August of 2021 after an investigation by the state attorney general found he had sexually harassed 11 women. Now, the former governor has repeatedly denied all these accusations.
It's Fiesta, and we're super excited. Lots of fiesta events. They continue today. Hopefully it'll be a beautiful day. So Jonathan Cotto, he is live out on the city's south side enjoying mariachi music, folklorico, and charreada, where they're going to be doing performances where the girls get on the horses and they ride. Jonathan.
That's right, Sarah, Max. That's everything that you can expect if you're planning out. And like I mentioned earlier, if you haven't made it out to a fiesta event, or even better, if you have never been to a charreada, you won't want to miss out today. And here to explain a little bit about what's going to be taking place is Mr. Edmundo Rios, president of the San Antonio Charro Association. Good morning, Edmundo.
Good morning.
Lots going to be happening here in a couple of hours.
Yes, in a couple of hours. Gates open at 11 today. All kinds of different events are going to be happening. Ballet folklore, mariachis, dancing horses, and then the charreada itself at 3.
At 3. There you have it. This is all going to be taking place at 11, folks. You can get your tickets here at the gate. Super easy, so you don't have to go to a website. You don't have to get online. You can just show up. Get here early because the lines are going to form up, right?
The lines get long. The lines get real long, yeah.
Edmundo, thank you so much for being with us today, sir. Max, Sarah, back to you.
All right, Jonathan Cotto, thank you so much. 8:41, 65 degrees out.
Still ahead, we're giving you a flashback of Nyosa.
Oh, nice. I need chicken on a stick.
Chicken on a stick.
Everything. You just go category by category, and you never leave hungry.
No.
Taking a live look out there. 65 now. What is the rest of the day? What about those fiesta events? What can you expect? We're going to check it with Sarah Spivey in just a bit.
This Fiesta Flashback is powered by the Silverado and your local San Antonio area Chevy dealers.
So is it Nyosa or Neosa?
It doesn't matter. We don't care. Just come and have fun.
Whatever you call it, a night in Old San Antonio is an important part of Fiesta history. Created by the San Antonio Conservation Society, it's become the largest historic preservation festival in the nation.
Well, we started in way back in 1936 when we were a fall Indian harvest festival at San Jose Mission.
Styled after early Fiesta celebrations, this fall festival eventually moved to La Villita.
And then they were approached in the late 1940s by the Fiesta Commission and invited to become an official spring event with Fiesta.
Then, after many years and many names, it happened.
In 1948, we became officially known as the Night in Old San Antonio.
A big part of Nyosa is the food, and in the early days, society members prepared it all in their kitchens.
So one of the things that the society did is to recreate Old San Antonio. Well, that would mean we would have chili, we would have bean tacos.
But the crowds became too big for pots of chili. So in 1953, outside tamales were brought in and the food game changed. And by 1958, the party grew into a 4-night affair. Now, about 10,000 volunteers run more than 240 food and drink booths and entertainment stages at La Villita. They represent the diverse cultures of the Alamo City in 15 heritage-themed areas. About 85,000 visitors attend, and they eat a lot. I mean, we're talking 17,000 pounds of beef and 11,000 pounds of chicken.
With the money that we receive from A Night in Old San Antonio, goes back into the community and funds some of those heritage areas that we have preserved over the years.
Preserving our history with a few beers and chicken on a stick? Now that's what I call a party. Adam Caskey, KSAT 12 News.
Fun information there from Adam. Thanks, Adam. All right, outside right now, it is cloudy at the airport and 62 degrees, but we are already seeing peaks of sunshine here. And throughout the morning, we're going to be seeing skies clear. Here's a look at the satellite and the temperatures. It's sunny in Del Rio, where it's 67 degrees. It's cool in Kerrville, where it's 55. And as we zoom in here, you can see that these clouds have moved in the early morning hours here, but they're thin and they won't last all that long. It's 66 in Hondo, it's 55 in Kerrville, 56 in Bulverde, 64 in New Braunfels, 62 in San Antonio, and 63 in Converse. And it's a little muggy, too, out there right now, especially along and south of Highway 90, where dew points are in the upper 50s and low 60s. But notice that it's dry up where the clouds, up where it's clear up in areas in the hill country. So that's why those areas in the hill country are a little bit cooler. And today we'll see comfortable afternoon dew points. Dew points will fall from where they're at right now into the 50s. So even though it's going to be warm, it'll be a dry heat today. But by tomorrow morning, dew points are going to surge again, and we'll actually have some drizzle early tomorrow morning. But today's forecast calls for all sunshine, and so if you're planning on celebrating Fiesta around San Antonio today, the weather looks great. We'll be warming up into the 70s throughout the mid-morning hours. Then by noon, it's going to be in the 80s, and it'll be warm after lunch. In fact, it'll also be breezy, too. Winds will pick up from the southeast at about 10 to 15 miles per hour, and by about 4 or 5 p.m. that's when we'll see our afternoon high temperature. It's going to be near 90 this afternoon. You know, yesterday we got up to 92. Today it'll be near 90, and we're going to have breezy conditions with winds from the southeast at about 15. By this evening, it should be nice and mild. Temperatures will fall into the 70s for any Sunday evening plans outdoors. Let's talk about the potential for rain tomorrow. Now, we are not going to be seeing widespread beneficial rain, unfortunately, but there is a small chance for rainfall. Starting early tomorrow morning, I anticipate some patchy morning drizzle as clouds increase, and then most of the day tomorrow should be fairly gray. We're going to struggle to see sunshine. By the afternoon, mostly cloudy skies and 82 degrees. Now, big event happening tomorrow with the Cavaliers River Parade. Something to keep in mind is that I do think we'll at least have some light rain, maybe even some sprinkles at times during the river parade, but it should not be a washout. Now, the one exception to that would be if we get a little bit of sun during the day, that sun would act as fuel for the potential for some storms. So we have ingredients for storms. They just may not come together. And a lot of people hoping that the rain stays off for the river parade, while a lot of people are hoping for some rain because of the drought conditions. All in all, pay attention to the weather tomorrow. We're going to keep you updated. In the late evening and overnight hours, a complex of storms could develop out to the west. That's a big could. Again, the ingredients are there, but they just may not mix together for storms. If they do, though, there could be some strong storms. I know this is a lot of ifs. I know we're speaking conditionally here, but the bigger chance for severe weather is up to the north near the Dallas-Fort Worth area. And continue to check in with Katie because she's going to have an update to the forecast tonight as well. Something to keep in mind, only 30% chance, but if it does happen, they could be strong or severe. So there you go. Tuesday, we'll be looking at hot conditions. 95 for the forecast high, and the record for the day is 93. So we could have record heat on Tuesday. A weak cool front moves through, and that'll knock our temperatures back down to the 70s and 80s for highs. By the morning of the Battle of Flowers Parade, it's going to be chilly. Temperatures are going to be in the 40s, but the afternoons for Battle of Flowers and Saturday, looks like we're going to have highs in the 80s. So pay attention to the weather. We'll keep you updated on Air Online, KSAT Weather Authority app, and we just got the pollen count in, so I'll show that coming up after the break.
Thank you, Sarah.
All right, time now at just about 8:52, 65 degrees out.
We'll be right back.
Here's the pollen count for the day. Oaks are high as expected, but down a little from yesterday, but we're in the middle of oak season. Molds, hackberry, and grass are present in low amounts. Hey, taking a look at the forecast, 89 degrees for the high today. These clouds out there are going to clear and it's going to be sunny. Now tomorrow, we do have a potential for some rain, even some storms in the evening hours, but the chance is not all that great, only 30%. It's going to be hot Tuesday, and then the front moves through on Wednesday and cools us back down for Fiesta festivities, but we'll be keeping a close eye on that chance for rain tomorrow with the river parade.
All right, let's see. I thought we were going to have the Cavalier Parade. Oh, there we go.
There it is.
All
okay,
right.
So that's happening tomorrow. Of course, you can watch it on air and online, and Sarah will keep you posted on that weather.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for joining us. Have a great weekend.
Have a good Sunday. Viva Fiesta.
Viva Fiesta.